Casey, very good to have you on here, sir. Now, just before we get into it here, I did not put it together before that Corey Hanson is your brother. I don't know why I didn't connect those dots, but I didn't realize that you guys are brothers.
We are indeed came from the same mother and the
Oh,
same father.
okay. All right. This is all added
Um,
up now.
yeah. It's a tale as old as time, but we're yeah. I mean, I could understand why, you know, we're pretty separate. We're pretty individual. So it was kind of I was observing this. It's kind of funny that we never really worked together for a long time, and then not really funny, I guess, given, we're pretty close in age and like butt heads often, but
Yeah, what's the difference in age between you two?
we're 1.5 years apart.
So pretty distant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those of you who haven't heard my interview with Corey, please go back and listen to that one after this one. Did you guys get into music around the same time?
Yeah,
More or
yeah,
less?
we
Okay.
did. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't see your interview with him, but I'm assuming a little play-by-play is in order.
Please, please.
Yeah, so our dad is a wonderful jazz pianist. Our mother is a beautiful singer-songwriter. Uh, Country was her like genre of choice, and yeah, we just kind of grew up with it on either side. Um, they're separated, but we'd go to one house and there would just be like keyboards all over the place. Then we'd be in the other one, and she would be practicing for whatever the gig was that weekend. And so we started pretty early, just digging in our own respective way those worlds. And or my dad taught me Hall of the Mountain King on keyboards when I was like 6 or something. When we expressed some interest, and they're always all but too excited to show what they know. Yeah, so I think we started pretty much as we were crawling, like doing this stuff. But seriously, like, yeah, I guess around like 11 or 12, we became serious professional musicians.
You guys started a little bit later than usual, but that's okay. You guys are here now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're here now. We're hanging. We're trying to hang with the rest of y'all. So
Right, right. And I mean, and we welcome you.
thank you.
Uh, how do your folks feel about both of your music careers now? Are they excited about it? Do they come to shows? What's that relationship like now with your parents and with music?
Um, I don't know. I'd have to, you'd have to interview them maybe to figure that
And
out.
they are coming on soon. I think 2 weeks or so. So
Yeah, Tom, I heard was coming in 2 weeks, and he's really excited to do
he
the
was a
bit.
little he was a little bit iffy. I think that this will give me some leeway into him, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, he goes to bed pretty early, so that makes sense.
right, right, right.
Um, y- yeah, no, they're stoked. Like they come out to our shows and just sob like babies. They're so excited that we're still doing it and still like interested, which is a very different experience from I think what a lot of people went through. So, we're fucking tickled pink that our parents didn't like, have to pull out the dagger from their back to like enjoy us a little bit. Because
Yeah.
like I know a lot of people who I tour with that are just like, yeah, it's not ideal. They think I'm a like my partner is thinks that their parents thought that they were going to be a psych major like neurosurgeon, and she's singing in a band. So
Now I have heard that you are becoming a neurosurgeon yourself, or just like kind of dabbling into it a little bit, right? Dipping your toe in the water.
yeah, I'm feeling the pressure a little bit from my end. So I figured, yeah, I'd tickle the subject here and there.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure.
I pick them up as I go along, but
Uh-huh.
um,
Were you and your brother both interested in the same kind of music around like 11 and 12? No, you guys were kind of did two different worlds there.
no, man, I was fully in like tight pants, Led Zeppelin, Like I learned how to play guitar watching The Song Remains the Same, which is like a very funny experience, and also an ironic title because they filmed it over two different nights. And so frequently they're improvising and footage of him playing one thing while I'm listening to something completely different. So, it also taught me like, don't trust the man, things like that because you know, everything
Never too
stops at
early
the
to learn
beginning.
that. Right. Right.
But he was like into like Nirvana and like this other like tight pants bullshit that I didn't fully like appreciate, I think at the time. And then as I got older, I'm starting to slowly come around to it. But yeah, we're like into completely different things, I guess is
Mhm.
what I'm going to say.
What other bands did you gravitate towards early on when you began your own journey within music?
Um,
Aside from Nirvana, of course.
yeah, I've journeyed far away from Nirvana, but the premise was like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC. I remember I did a cover of TNT. No, 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 Dirty Deeds, for the school talent show in middle school, and I did a power slide in between our singer's legs and jammed my flying V in between his, and started stroking it, and that was like the vibe for that moment. It's like I don't think I fully understood the musicianship like actually involved in a moment like that, but I like really wanted to give it my all in some respect. So yeah, so it was like AC/DC, like these like kind of like gritty rock, coke-addled, dudes were like the soundtrack of my teens, and then got into like grunge, like Pumpkins, uh, some shoegaze in there. Yeah, I mean that was like the soundtrack of my childhood. White Stripes, I guess, was like my first. I didn't even realize it was like this garage thing or whatever. I just liked the Lego video, that
Mm,
Michel Gondry did. It was,
hmm hmm
what a video, man. Um, I loved their videos actually. So yeah, I was very interested in like that aspect to the visual parts. Like that was my entry into music. So it's kind of where I've gone a
Through
lot.
through a visual accompaniment, perhaps, in some regards.
Yeah, through like promotional material, oddly. Like that's what like really struck me in music.
It worked on you. It worked on you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean it made me want to make it. Like, you know, go on to make music videos for the rest
Yeah.
of my days.
Now was bass the first instrument that you gravitated towards, or did you start with guitar?
Yeah, it was actually. I was a bass player originally, because I think there was a guitar in the house that was a Stratocaster, an '80s beautiful turquoise seafoamy kind of thing, Stratocaster, and uh, and then we didn't have anything else besides an acoustic, and no one wanted to touch that because it was like a grandpa guitar or something. But then
Is that still your mindset on that now?
no, God, no.
Okay. All right. All right.
No, I've changed. I'm always evolving as a person. But like, yeah, like her producer at the time, she was making a record, and then he gifted us a bass for like a couple of weeks, and that was like I learned like Beatles songs on that, and yeah, I don't know, that was the thing at the
What
time. But then he took it back because he felt like it was like used on the Wallflowers record or something. So he was like having this crisis about letting a kid have his like wonderful bass, and yeah, fucker. And then I had to go out and buy a guitar because that was, you know, seemed like the style at the time in the house. So yeah, we were all
mhm.
just a bunch of guitarists living elbow to elbow.
When did you swing back into the things with bass? When did it re-enter your life?
Um, I've always dabbled.
Hmm
Like, um, me, Corey, and Chad Yubovich from Meatbodies were
Of
in
course, he's
a
been on this podcast. Please go listen to his episode as well.
we were in a project in our mid-teens, like 15, 16 for me. They were a little older than me, where I played bass in this project, this largely like Smashing Pumpkins, Radiohead kind of rip-off band called Umbrella. And you'll never hear a single. I think I have actually the song that we went out and recorded, and it's a very goofy. There's like this great like Tom Morello esque guitar solo at some point. Anyway, I was in the bass in that band, and I took it very seriously. I was maybe too serious at the time, and then it fell apart because we were teenagers trying to like be, I don't know, trying to treat it like work or something, and
Which it is, and it's not supposed to be fun. Music making is very serious format of
well,
art.
yeah, there's a lot of conversation about that. I think like that we're called it's called play. You play an instrument, you don't work an instrument, right? And yeah, but there is this discipline required. So yeah, I don't know. Like it's a column A, a little column B. I think you're supposed to not take it too seriously, and then you're supposed to take some things so very seriously that it's really hard to like there's so much weight to the thing, and at the same time it's so inherently silly. So yeah, so that broke apart over a Big Muff pedal. um, we were
That'll
like,
do it.
yeah, we were the three of us were like siblings. Two of us were, and then yeah, we just all had,
Chad and you, obviously, so you're referring to in that scenario. Yeah.
yeah. But we like had this whole fallout over a Big Muff pedal. It was the funniest fucking thing. I
Mm.
mean, that thing is worth like probably $400 now. Like that. I don't think we knew at the time because it was like a piece of crap that you just got at Guitar Center. But yeah,
I mean,
money
yeah,
always gets between people. Ultimately, that's like the main cause.
sure. Um, was it with this first or that group, the Umbrellas or Umbrella? I don't. It was just Umbrella.
Umbrella, yeah.
Umbrella. Was it with that band that you really took to the bass and that kind of just like formulated your wanting to continue on with it, or at least liking playing it?
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, it definitely was like, oh shit, I can do this kind of moment. And everybody around me was like so like cocksure on the guitar thing that I think I was like the younger one who was a little more like I can hang, like, but I couldn't hang.
in
So
in
I don't know if it
hindsight.
did. I don't know if it did stick around. Like in hindsight, I've gone back and forth so many times now that I'm like, it's like I don't know. There's like such a dig, um, like a personal dig about bass, which is kind of fucked up. That people don't give it the credit it's really due, man. Like the amount of work you have to do, the amount of heavy lifting you got to do as a bassist, and I don't mean physical. I mean like sonically. You got to live in two different worlds, and that's hard to do. Anybody can tell you that.
I mean, you are bridging the gap between what the drums are doing and what the guitar is doing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is a crucial role.
for sure. I don't need to preach to you, for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm
Many of your
I'm
viewers don't understand fully the gravity of what we're talking about, but it is very serious, and I take it very seriously. The bass
that is
player.
that is the work aspect. Going back to that, that's the work aspect. That's not playing it. Yeah.
No, there's nothing. I don't mean to treat this with any kind of levity. You're laughing, but
No, no, no. I'm just laughing at
I'm
the
trying to.
absurdity, at the absurdity of people not understanding the gravitas of the situation.
Yeah.
Um, so after Umbrellas, did you just kind of get off and running in different directions and playing in different bands and such, or was it here and there that you would kind of dabble with playing with other people at that point?
Well, um, yeah. I mean, we were kids, so we were gonna get scattered. We were just on the playground. So you meet other people. You get your heart broken, you come back together. Like, yeah, just shit happens, and um, we all just branched out and did our own things, and that's blessed. And like, I wish the best for those guys. At any point in time. Like, I think hopefully, like, we're all very supportive of each other in that respect. But yeah, like I kind of went in this very funny. I mean, if you want to go through a full like historical thing with me, I don't
Let's
have a Wikipedia page, so this
let's
is it.
let's do it.
So we got to talk about Board Chucker.
Okay.
This was like a formative moment. Like Umbrella was cool, but Board Chucker was like a sincere, kind of more adult, like erotic. I don't know what to call it. It was a wonderful experience that I had with my like current bandmate and best friend Mike Amster, um, where we just had a two piece, and this was like a part of like me maybe bridging the gap from bass to guitar was like one of those like horrific split single or split signal um, split signal guitar rigs where it's like bass, guitar, pog, like a like an octave generator, pedal, and just like fucking going for it with the tech, like the scales, the amount of like bravado you could throw into a situation like that as a two piece is apparently staggering. So I'd check out Board Chucker if I were you, if I were anybody.
This is released to the public.
Yeah, it's public domain at this point. I think it's so far away. So, but yeah, you could check it out. You please do. It's fucking funny shit.
Uh, and that was kind of you dipping your toe into guitar a little bit more as well.
Yeah, that was like the first real time I like sat down and actually wrote um a record recorded with like a band on my own. And yeah, very like sentimental for me. It's just funny to think. You'll have to listen to it to understand because it's pretty fascinating. It's just like noisy, like bizarre math, like just scattered around.
Hella type of stuff.
It was hella good, yeah, for sure. I hope someday someone actually says that in sincerity. But
Throughout you making music or being involved with music, I mean, it's always bounced between bass and guitar. It was somewhat frequently, at least in different intervals, right?
yeah, I mean, depending on need,
Right.
yeah,
And before this, the joining the current band that you're in, Spoonbenders, you did play with Meatbodies for a bit in with Chad, who we mentioned before.
yeah,
And you were on guitar duties then, right?
yeah, yeah. Um, that was like, yeah, that felt like kind of a spur of the moment need kind of thing. Like he was in the studio, working on Flora Ocean Tiger Bloom, that record, which was like at that point supposed to be like a different record, and then yeah, whatever. There's a whole story about how that one came to be, but he like was like kind of just open invitation, like whoever wants to come through, and we were old friends, and we were like getting together for like um I forget what it was, like a poker night kind of thing. Um, and yeah,
Poker
like
poker music night,
yeah,
classic
poker
LA
night.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Just get the boys together, see what happens. And so yeah, I like ripped a couple of weird ones on that record, and they stuck around. And yeah, he kind of like talked to me about it, called me up, and was like, "I think I want you on guitar from now on." I was like, "Okay, sure." Um,
Were you moving or were you playing bass in the previous whatever you were working on before that, or were you working with guitar and then moving to Meat Bodies also playing guitar?
yeah, funny enough, I was at that exact moment in time working with Corey on the Western Come record, where I
Out
was playing.
out now through Drag City and Flora Ocean Bloom through In the Red.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I was playing bass, on that record. And then I ended up touring on guitar because it just worked out that way. It like never seems to have a linear, like with Chad, even it was like a kind of up to discussion whether or not I was going to stay on guitar or bass or play keyboards, or like I started, like my touring life started playing keyboards, playing piano.
Oh, wow. Uh,
Um, yeah.
is that like a totally different world to be in, playing keys in a band rather than bass or guitar?
Yeah, because well, exceptions being like the keytar, you're not usually strapped.
Yeah.
Um, and like I don't know, you could treat that however way you want, but like to have something in between you and the audience is very different. Like you have a certain amount of comfort, I think, or like having this thing vibrating against you, and then
Mm,
when you realize you could run away at any point from a keyboard is like kind of a funny moment when you're like in front of a crowd. Um,
yeah.
Not that I like suffer that bad from stage fright, but I have moments where, it helps being like literally tied to the stage. It's like funny because you don't have an acoustic element to what you're doing unless you actually have like a real grand, which I think I only did once as a lark. Like I had like there was one on stage or something, so we played it. But yeah, it's like this clacky plastic thing that doesn't even make sound and inherently like doesn't have tines or anything. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it feels insubstantial, I guess, when you're, and I want to be like held.
Going back to Meatbodies, I mean, you had known Chad forever, but Noah and Dylan were also in this group at that time, right?
No.
Okay.
Dylan was, Noah was not. Noah wasn't in the band. He joined later. Um, and yeah, we were all like, we all grew up together. We all had like the same circle of friends. Like Noah and Dylan were in a project called Upsilon Crux, which is this incredible like prog um, math rock kind of band. So, and I always looked up to them actually as musicians growing up because Noah's this like incredible guitar player, just meticulous, like perfect guy, or to me anyway, when I was growing up, and I was like, "Oh, I wish I was like that." And Dylan was this like very like regimented, like mathy kind of drummer that never played the same thing different, just always like perfect. Perfect jawline.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and please go back and listen to Noah and Dylan's interviews as well after this. I'm giving a lot of people a lot of homework if they haven't heard these things already.
I
These
have homework to do too. Apparently, I didn't realize they were on it too.
everyone that you've ever met playing music, they've been on this. So we'll just put it that way.
We have so much catching up to do.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, cool. All right.
So
But yeah, they're incredible. I'm sure they went over their shit to some extent, but yeah. Um, yeah, it was like it's cool that we all just like kind of found each other again for a minute, and you know, yeah, it was fun.
yeah, so I mean, stepping into that role with guitar and thinking about the bass role within Meat Bodies for that, especially for the album Flora, Ocean, Tiger, Bloom. Um, how would that be different if you were like, all right, you're on bass duties? Would you have a different kind of style going towards it, playing live for that matter?
I don't know, man. I have a very like kitchen sink approach to music, and this has always just been, it's a little bit, it keeps me in um, conflict, I think, with a lot of other musicians, that I'm just like, whatever I'm thinking in that moment is going to happen. And I'm not usually in the song. I'm usually like somewhere else when I perform, like looking at the whole or something and trying to improve on something that doesn't need to necessarily improve. But yeah, so I think I'm the same musician whether I'm on drums frankly. Like I can't seem to stop like writing and rewriting and like having like trying to make it like interesting for the moment. And I don't think it needs to be anything else, but you know, other people don't necessarily agree. So
So do you like switching it up a bit when you're playing live? You like to give something new to a previously recorded song or idea.
yeah, yeah. When we got together, Meatbodies, it was like a jukebox. You know, that's the way I saw it. It was like the crowd would come, put a coin in, and then we would just start playing. And then I would kind of be like, what if we what if we tried something here? Like what if we improvised over this like section of music or whatever? And then I think everybody really like opened up to that idea and yeah, it's I think it's just more fun for me. I think it's more fun for people watching too to get something like you can't just hear
Hmm.
a piece of plastic that's revolving or something and yeah, it's something really interesting for a moment and then maybe it wasn't that good, but at least it was new. Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for as an audience member every time you go out to go see a show? Do you want the songs to sound different than how you usually hear them on a piece of vinyl or whatever it may be?
Yeah, I guess. I've never really thought about it, just mostly from a performance standpoint, because I
Hmm.
don't really go to a lot of, I've been to a lot more shows lately, actually. That's not true. But yeah, I think I do. I think I like when people are uncomfortable. Like I like being uncomfortable in moments and like I love noise shows. They're like so awkward when like a piece of equipment isn't working and you're like, is this a part of the show? And
Yeah,
they get all red in the face, and then you're like, oh my God, no, this isn't a part of the show.
but I've never been in a noise show that's ever happened. Whatever failed, I first of all I wouldn't even notice probably, and secondly, if it did or something cut out, like they just like rolled with it, it's like yes, that was supposed to happen in this moment.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's the thing is it is, I love just experiencing that and like kind of that acceptance that has to come from that, that like, fuck, anything can happen. Cool. What are we doing next? Um, like I like when amps fail and stuff on stage and like people forget the lyrics and you know, that stuff stands out to me as like unique. Like, oh, I went to a show and it was super cool because the lights went out, you know, and they kept playing because the lights were on a different circuit. So it was just this like crazy, eerie, like cave that we were in all of a sudden. And we realized we were in an eerie cave listening to this band. And what does that feel like? You know? I don't know, that shit's really cool to me. I saw the Melvins did that the other day, which is why that came to mind.
Ah,
Yeah.
and they rolled with it, huh?
It just rolled. Yeah, and that feels like professional and profound too,
Mm,
to just run with the cadence of that phrase.
yeah, I like it. It's a good phrase.
Yeah.
Uh, Going back to the Meatbody's previous work before that specific album, was there a song that you really gravitated towards or you really liked listening to before even entering the band
With Meatbodies.
with Meatbodies? Yeah, from Meatbody's discography.
Um, that's a good question.
Thank you.
That's what I say when I have to think. Because I think that is a good question. Okay, yeah. With that record, I did love Hole. I thought Hole was, and it was like a song that I had heard one other iteration of, maybe two, I don't remember, but like that he had recorded with his previous band.
Hole was on which record was that on?
That was on Flora Ocean Tiger Bloom.
Hmm. Okay.
It was, I think third track, no, second track. Whatever. I liked that one. Assignment was cool, I thought. Yeah, Hole was the one that kind of sucked me in though. Sucked me and dropped me down there. Um, and yeah, it stuck with me. It still sticks with me. Like it's a really good track. I think he's always been a really good like kind of pop writer. Got these great kind of manipulation of melody, and yeah, it's like a good attribute to having a musician for sure.
Do you find yourself listening to people's music that you know personally, like, more than other people's? Maybe like, the Beatles or something like that? Do you find yourself like, "Oh, I know this person, and I listen to this guy's band or her band or whoever it may be?"
I think I'd check it out, but I'm not a huge fan of any of this stuff. Like I have been to more wand shows than anybody, except for the people in the band. Like I think I've been there. I've been to like God, I don't know how many, but since the start, cumulatively. But yeah, I'm not like a huge. I don't listen to it when I'm just there to like support my brother and like love him and love Chad, like want him to succeed. So, yeah, I'll like show my face and hang out, but it's not like Ty. I don't know. Like these guys are all making, I think, good strides in music, and I respect them as like workers or as players. But yeah, I don't know. Like I listen to like dungeon synth.
I don't even know
Yeah,
what that is, but
like
I
I
don't.
listen to like ambient like synth shit. Like I'm not really like on the rock tiff. I think I like to step out of the shoes that are the like screaming playing guy.
When you're playing guitar or when you're playing bass, does that differ at all for you? I mean, are you switching your mindset at all, or what you're going to do when you're playing both of them? I understand it's coming from sort of the same source, but is it splinter?
No, that is a good question. Yeah, it does. I mean, I focus on the drums when I'm playing the bass. And
Mm.
I'm like kind of like I don't know, hyper focus on like snare placement and bass drum placement and stuff like that, and like listening to fills and trying to like it's like a weird like kind of game I play with myself is like how dead on can I get with that thing? Like if they do a fill, can I like in a microsecond figure out what they're gonna do next
Oh, wow.
and then get into their state of mind. So it's just like I don't know, they call it like um I don't know, it's like almost akin to like telepathy, like not to toot my own horn, but to say like when people do it really well, and I don't think I do it really well all the time by any stretch of the imagination, but when they do, it's like basically telepathic. Like you can be in two separate rooms so deep in a pocket that like you may as well be the same guy. And that's I think really cool about those two instruments that they're so linked. Um, and then when I'm playing guitar, like you're kind of floating above it a little more. Like you get to like make choices that are inconsequential to like the rhythmic aspect, and so therefore it's like freeing.
Mm-hmm.
You get to live in the melody, and you can dig into the rhythm, but like it's not essential. I think you can have pretty bad timing as a musician and like really kill it on guitar. So yeah, that's what I would say. It's very different, definitely.
Yeah. Both of these instruments provide different pathways to traverse
Yeah,
depending on which one you're playing at the moment.
yeah, and it's like almost like stepping into a different personality a little bit. But yeah, I do. I still kind of do whatever. Like I'm just improvising, no matter what. But like the mindset is very different. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Because you switch between guitar and bass from time to time in spoon benders, correct?
yeah,
In that time that you're switching, are you already at least subconsciously like, now I'm gonna kind of flip a switch and play this and
yeah.
kind of change gears?
I think yeah, it does take a little bit of gymnastics to like get there. But yeah, totally. You do. I do switch gears. It helps that we practice it that way. Just
Hmm.
because like I wrote a song, I sing it so I can live in the melody a little easier, like and sing and play a guitar. Whereas if I was playing bass and singing, it's like a little more clashy, and I have to like stick to like a rhythmic element, and it throws me we did this for a while where I would like sing a song and it would be really fucking hard.
In terms of n- amount of time on stage, do you think that you spent more time behind a guitar or behind a bass?
Mm, yeah, probably guitar. I think I think probably I toured much more on guitar.
Hmm.
Because yeah, with the Corey stuff um we were doing like a ZZ Top cover band uh to like support ourselves. And yeah, I would switch between bass and then go to guitar. So I don't know, that part kind of negates itself. And then I think Meatbodies was like most of what I did. So yeah, I'd say probably guitar.
Yeah, what was your time playing with the Meat Bodies or with Meat Bodies live like? Did it feel like it was reminiscent of other bands that you had been a part of, or was there something deeper because you had known Chad and like been around this the Flora Ocean Tiger Bloom record uh since its inception?
Um, was it any different, you mean?
Yeah, did it feel different because you had this connection with not only Chad but the band itself?
Yeah, probably yes in both respects, but the people you play with are like for me, it's like a huge motivating or unmotivating factor. Um, yeah, definitely affects the performance, like in positive and negative ways. And and yeah, with the music, there was a kind of like I didn't feel like maybe like overly fond of a lot of stuff that the crowd really liked, for instance. So like when we played, like everybody expects to hear like the song that was on the self-titled mountain one, the
Hmm.
mountain song. Um, yeah, which like I got down with maybe back in the day, but like I don't know.
Your dungeon synth now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm in the dungeon, buddy. So I'm not
Well,
on the mountain. I'm
right.
deep down. Um,
You're more of a Wahoo guy. I know that. This is also I love that song. The drums in that song is really fantastic. I don't know who was playing drums on that album, but whoever it was or whoever was on that track, it's awesome, amazing.
I have a feeling I know who it was, but I won't say. Okay, I
What?
will.
What?
Twist my arm. It was Ryan Motino, which he was like he played with the OCs for a while too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Going back to that telepathy deal, did you feel like there was some sort of like just because you've known Chad for so long that there was like I know what you're gonna do and I'm gonna play off that and vice versa?
totally unpredictable.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was very unpredictable, and yeah, there's like there's some musicians like playing with Corey. I was always so stoked because he was like we just have a very similar cadence to our playing and stuff that feels very. It's like what is it called? Blood harmony
Hmm.
with guitar playing.
Hmm.
Uh,
I've never heard this term. It's an interesting term though.
oh, really? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I think it's like a Nashville or like folk or country kind of term where you call it the blood harmony. Is when you come from your blood. You're so tight. It must be the DNA speaking through you, and so yeah, I just feel like there's some part of our expression that was always so like
Did you move from Meat Bodies straight into Spoonbenders, the current project that you're in?
yeah.
Aside from playing with Corey in his solo work for a bit there, was that the shift?
Yeah, it was basically the same night. Um, was just like, um, and haven't really looked back. Like they've been doing their own thing, and glad for them. And same with Corey. Like we just kind of dumped it off at the end of the last kind of run that we did together in Denver. We're like, oh, okay. Um, yeah. And yeah, started off with Spoon Benders. And they're great. We've been like long kind of collaborators and friends, and they came on tour with Meatbodies at some point, and there were just a bunch of like, like shifts in the band dynamic, and then we're like, why not me? Okay, I'm free.
Yeah, did you join? Because I know that they're everybody's located in Los Angeles now, but it began in Portland, Oregon.
I'm here. I'm in Portland.
Ah, okay. All right.
So yeah, they moved down for a minute and then moved right back up. Um,
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so you're located in Portland now.
yeah, I moved cities.
Gotcha. I thought that they transferred down here. My apologies. Okay.
No,
Now it
it's
now it's all
fine.
clicking.
I don't know if it is, man. They definitely
Maybe
moved
not.
down to Los Angeles, but they moved back up. Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right. Now I see. Yeah, so did you move to join this group?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Moved because it was easier, definitely. I couldn't really hack it in Los Angeles anymore. I had grew up there and I was over it. But yeah, they moved down to be with uh our drummer, Mike, who was in Board Chucker with me, and Board Chucker. Board Chucker. It's one word. Um,
On YouTube and Spotify and Apple?
it's all over, man.
All over. Okay.
You,
Can't get away from it.
you couldn't stop it if you wanted to. Board Chucker. And he's still in LA, but they moved down to be with him, and then it just worked out where I got scooped up and came up here because it was just it. We like left like weeks before that giant fire, and
Oh wow.
um, yeah, just the vibes were off, and I don't know. And then it all kind of turned topsy turvy from there. But yeah, he flies up to be with us, and we work up here.
And you moved there with the intent of joining this group.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And I mean, you were pretty familiar with their work before stemming back a long ways.
Yeah, we had already been like working on this record that we're doing right now, that we've recorded a giant bulk of songs, but we had already been like kind of collaborating while I was in Meatbodies and while I was with Corey even like just you stay busy, try to I was just trying to help out, like kind of like lend a hand while they were kind of in flux with their members, like I was saying, and then it just ended up working out where it's like, well, free now, you know.
Did you realize, I mean, early on, even before working with them in any capacity, just seeing them, did you feel like, oh, I could see myself playing in that group?
I don't know. Um, I love them. I've loved all iterations of the band so far, but I don't know if it was really like my style or anything. And then I kind of like I was hearing where they were headed and was like, oh shit, I can jump on that. Like, what are we up to? This is cool. But yeah, they were coming from like a very like my partner Katie was just learning how to play guitar basically while she was making the first record, and that was the product of like the first thing she had ever learned how to do um, with it, and that was really cool. But yeah, it like wasn't exactly like the style I was into. Like I said, I listened to. I'm in the dungeon,
Yeah,
um,
sure. With the synth. Um,
like strictly with a synth. Yeah, so
Wait, I just want to clarify this right now. Is it analog or is it digital synth? What is it?
listen. Um, I don't differentiate anymore. I'm
Mm.
like, okay, so we got FM, sure. So we got VCOs, okay. So we got DCOs, digital controlled oscillators, fine. I'll take it all. Uh,
It's all just plastic that you're hitting, right?
it's all just, yeah, it's insubstantial. You're right. Now you're getting it.
I'm using your terminology there.
Yeah.
We touched on this a little bit before, but I mean, you were playing with your brother, in Western Come and a little bit of these other tours and shows and whatnot, promoting this or supporting that album, performing with him on those shows and with that album specifically. Did you feel like there was a lot more similarities between how you two work on a song or construct a song together? And is there ways in which you guys would you would take a different route than he would, and your approach differs?
Yeah. Um, I saw myself as like largely supplemental on the whole process, like even like peripheral at times, like a satellite, just kind of clanging in occasionally. Like he's a workhorse, that guy. He just is pretty. There are elements that are very like group oriented, but he's like a pretty solitary um, creator. I think he wants it that way, probably. But yeah, I would like chime in on stuff like, especially the rhythm stuff. I'm a little more like of a tinkerer. Like I know how stuff works a little bit better, so I could like verbalize what might have been happening in a song and to help everybody kind of get on the same page. Like there were moments like that, but for the most part, yeah, he's just doing his own thing, and I was just hanging. Um, like we did a lot of music videos together, and like we would direct them, and that was, I think, the first like professional way that we realized that this is even possible. That we had creative avenues that we were both totally down with, like the bizarre like two dudes dressed in Uncle Sam costumes drinking milk from a animated dog's boob kind of thing. Like,
Normal stuff. Yeah.
yeah, just your typical kind of brotherly love.
American Brothers sort of stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Right. If you got to put a label on it. What was the question?
So there were some aspects that you guys kind of differed, and some of them your paths in which you create music kind of blend in some ways and diverge in others because you guys are your own people. But at a certain point, these things sort of blend in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I think if you press hard enough, things will kind of look the same with personalities. And with us, it's not that hard because, as I said, the blood harmony kind of
Blood harmony. That's
runs it runs thick in a lot of ways, thicker than water or cum.
Western come out
Western,
now.
sorry, not I. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know that you're talking about Western come out now. Dragcity.com. Would you ever want to create another band or project with your brother, with you guys both at the helm? Um,
No,
no. Okay. All right.
absolutely
All right. All
not.
right. All right.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, I think that guy's like pretty successful and good on his own, and I'm more of like I'm honest to goodness like collaboration. Like I like what happens when two people's ideas kind of butt against each other, and I try not to take it too personally when things don't work out. But yeah, I think he's like pretty solid on his own, so solid on his own.
Do
Yeah.
you take away new aspects within music with every, I mean, person that you play with or project that you're a part of, or with whatever it may be in regards to music? Are you always getting something new out of it?
Yeah, yeah, I get inspired. um, yeah, I think these projects are highly inspirational, and it's hard not to see that when like interacting with people who just come to see the show. They're just like, "Holy shit!" Can't believe this is still happening. Am I allowed to see this? Like, that's like, yeah, it must be pretty fucking crazy if that's the case. So, yeah, I take something from that too. Like, uh, if that's the question that you're asking, I like take inspiration from my brother, take it from Chad, Spoonbenders. Like these people are all like highly creative and highly motivated people, and whether it's like a part of the process or a part of the like aesthetic, Yeah, I carry that around with me.
Yeah. Nice. Now, we touched on this a little bit before, but in addition to making music, you also create music videos and animation. When you look back on the inception of the visual arts, which you kind of touched down on about 4 hours ago when we started, um, that the visual component of music was crucial with your interest within it in its entirety.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
does working on the animation side or the visual side of music in that way, does that give you a different sense of satisfaction when something is done, that there's both the sound component and the visual component to this art form?
Oh my God, yeah. I think it's yeah, it's so much more of like a of just like an effort, I think, to me at that point. Like, yeah, as I said, like that's how I got to know music, was like through the video production kind of element. And I don't think it could exist without that. Like, I was so fascinated with the way these people presented themselves, and like the colors and like the stories of everything. Like, I don't even know what people are singing about a lot of the time. I don't know what scale they're playing in. I'm like kind of fascinated by like, wow, you chose that weird texture to put as your backdrop, or I don't know, like, yeah, I think that stuff is like the presentation of a band is so, I don't know, like glitzy, glamoury. It really is eye catching, and I'm a sucker. I'm just in there to consume, clearly. But like, yeah, yeah, to answer your question, yeah.
Are you Do you get a deeper connection, I guess, with music when you're watching a music video specifically? Or maybe even looking at like an album cover, if you put on a vinyl or CD or whatever it may be. Does that connect you with it more?
Yeah, I think that's the case for a lot of people. Is like you tie it to a visual element, and there's like a sense of like visual memory to a what is inherently like a fleeting sequence of waves hitting your ear. So the fact that you have a fleeting sequence of waves hitting your eyes at the same point is like a kind of memorable double penetration kind of moment for a lot of people, I think. So yeah, yeah, it's great. It can't be beat.
Is visual stuff going through your mind as you work, as you're working on an idea for a song?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Does
I
working on visual stuff also stimulate your idea for a song without the accompaniment of sound?
That's an interesting question. I don't think so. I don't think I could put that together. That's really hard. But like melodies and rhythms, like sometimes you listen to a drum beat and you're like, that's a dude running, or that's like a sultry kind of step to that kind of thing. You call these things, like, there's a visual element to even the language that you add to these things. It's like jaunty. It's a waterfall, like when when we like have our whiteboard in our practice space where we're like writing a song, it's mostly pictographs that we use to like describe, this is a handshake, and I just draw a handshake, or whatever.
Mm. Hmm.
And then when the vocals happen, it's like kind of the story of the song that I already knew. It's like about the apocalypse or something, and I'm already living in a world that's constructed by like us sitting around working. And that's like a cool thing. But yeah, if I were drawing a picture, I think I'd be hard pressed to like make a song out of it, unless it was an assignment, which it's kind of an interesting approach. Maybe I'll try that sometime.
I sure hope you do. And Casey, I really appreciate you coming on here. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, thanks for talking to me.
Yeah. But before I let you go, I got some promo to do here. You got a lot of stuff going on, so we got a lot of stuff to cover. Spoonbender's music is streaming everywhere, wherever people get their music. That's where they could find your current project. The merch is available through spoonbenders.bigcartel.com, and everyone can find the dates for the shows through the website at spoonbendersband.com, and of course through the Instagram at spoonbenders, just one word, no underscores or none of that business there.
Yeah, no funny stuff.
No funny stuff. Western Come, which we've mentioned before, is Corey's album that you play on, and that is streaming everywhere wherever people get their music. That's where they can find it. And again, that can be purchased through dragcity.com. Um, and people can follow you on Instagram to see these animation and then the work that you've been doing on the more visual side of things, for both the animations and the video, at Casey MMH, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Right on. And you're open to for some consultate or some work, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
People can reach out to you if they want you if they want to work with you.
Yeah, listen, I know it's scary. I know it's hard out there, man. I know you're thinking about promoting your record, your music, and you're like, fuck, I like the look of this guy's work, but I don't know if I could swing it. Let's try. I don't know. Just drop me a line. Maybe we'll talk it through. It'll be all right. Um, yeah, it's fun. It's really fun for me. So it could be cool. Or like, I do like commission work for all kinds of um, you know, flyers, album covers, whatever. I've kind of done it all at this point. So
So
yeah, I'm
if
open.
if people want it, they should reach out to you on Instagram. That's the best place.
Yeah, yeah. Let's wheel and deal, buddy.
Wheel and deal. See, sometimes you get the wheel, sometimes you get the deal, but you don't get both often. That's
I'm offering both at half off.
whoa. All right. Well, act now. Casey, I really appreciate you coming on here. Is there any, because this is out tomorrow, is there anything like a gig or something big coming up that we gotta plug that we didn't?
Okay.
Mhm.
So we got a show, Mississippi Studios, Portland,
Mm,
Oregon.
mm.
Um, with 40 Feet Tall, great band. And it's on June 13th. Let's see. We're playing a fest in Bellingham to look out for. We're all over Europe this summer. Maybe
Starting
not
in June or July.
we're out July to August.
Oh, okay. Good
So
good chunk of time there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it is in a different time zone. So keep track. Things are gonna get weird. I know. I'm gonna be tired. I know. Come on out.
The train whistle will be there.
Can't believe that just blew right then. Um, let's see. I'm in the process of becoming. I'm selling all of my guitars, and I'm becoming a dungeon synth artist. As I so keep an eye out. It's things are getting weird.
Are
Um,
you on Reverb or are you on eBay for this?
and can't. Oh, eBay. Yeah, yeah. We're also on eBay. Um, no, no, no. So my reverb is a fucking mess right now. I really need to work it out. But I got some good shit. You're gonna love it. Okay.
And you'll be posting about this.
I should, but I usually don't. So keep an eye out.
All right, you might be posting about it at Casey MMH on Instagram, to stay up to date with the maybe posting about it, maybe not. Or just keep on refreshing the reverb.
Yeah, just come to my curb. It's gonna be a box full of Les Paul guitars. And
A box full of Les Pauls.
I'm over it, man. Cool.
Casey, thank you so much. I'm gonna stop recording this and I'll talk to you in a minute, okay?
Okay, cool. See you then.